evening. Welcome to the September 1st meeting of the Falmouth Zoning Board of Appeals. I will go through and introduce everybody, and then we'll get started. So, my name's Kimberly Beelan. I'm the chairman of the board. Ed Van Kuren is next in line. He's a regular voting member of the board. Paul Murphy is a regular voting member of the board. And Jerry Patamus is an associate member of the board.
But we'll be sitting at the hearings tonight.
He will be sitting on the hearings. Right now we have 4, which is a quorum. TJ Hurry will be coming, and he'll be 5. And Sri Budrow is our zoning administrator. So I would like to start by just reminding everybody to silence your cell phones if you have them on. So tonight we're participating in the public hearing process, so applicants will present their applications, and we would just ask that everybody listen to the applicants, witnesses, and the board. We'll ask questions about the application if we have certain questions, and we'll read referrals in from other town departments as well. We'll then invite the public to comment. You can speak either in favor, in opposition, or if you have a question, we'll try to get the question answered for you. If we think we've received enough information, we'll close the public hearing, and then we may make a decision tonight. If we think we need more information, then we'll continue the public hearing to another date, and you'll hear the date tonight. And then we will proceed as follows, I guess. So tonight we have 1 continuation at 6:30, and then we have 4 new hearings and some open meeting matters. So the first continuation is application 53-16, Scott Moore, 850 West Falmouth Highway. This has been opened. We've received no testimony to date, and I know that the Board of Selectmen did take a vote, correct, Sri, about extending the deed restriction?
The selectmen did vote to extend the deed restriction, although it doesn't require being filed until October 6th, so I just think the board might want to continue it until October 6th since the applicant isn't here to withdraw.
Okay, and then yes, sorry, the applicant's not here. And so last time the voting members on this, I know that we haven't heard testimony, was TJ Hurry, Ed Van Kuren, Paul Murphy, Mark Cool obviously is no longer on the board, and Jerry Patamus. So is it just those?
There's been no testimony,
so we can all vote. Okay.
These 4 board members can make the motion and approve to continue to October 6th.
Okay. So
I'll make a motion to continue.
To October 6th at 6:30?
Yeah, yeah, 6th.
Yes.
Oh, second.
Thank you. So that was Mr. Van Kuren and Mr. Murphy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. So that's unanimous. So that matter, number 5316, Scott Moore, 850 West Falmouth Highway, is continued to October 6th at 6:30. The next item on the agenda is number 78-16, Weiner, 12 Spring Bars Road, Falmouth. And
I don't see the applicant's representative here yet.
okay. So do we want to take a motion to take it out of order?
I'll make a motion, take it out of order.
Can I suggest that you make
Seems
a
to
motion
be-
to give a 10-minute break?
Sure. Okay.
I don't know why
Well, I guess I don't need a motion then.
people aren't here. Oh, that's true.
Okay, so we'll take a 10-minute break.
Sorry, guys.
Okay, welcome back. So before we took our short break, we had just said that we would be starting with application 78-16 Weiner, 12 Spring Bars Road, Falmouth. And TJ Hurry, the clerk of the board, has arrived as well. So the five of us will be sitting on all of the applications tonight. Thanks. Yep.
Being all persons deemed affected by the Board of Appeals under Section 11 of Chapter 40A of the Massachusetts General Laws, you are hereby notified that Mark Weiner and Bradley Weiner, trustees of North Andover, Massachusetts, applied to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a special permit pursuant to Section 240-3 of the Code of Falmouth to raise the remains of the building and reconstruct the pre-existing non-conforming structure on subject property known as 12 Spring Bars Road, Falmouth, Mass. And for referrals, from engineering is the standard comment, with the note that the project must not direct any stormwater runoff to public property, abutters, or rights of way. From the assessors, the note is to include lots 23 and 89. From the fire department, no comment. From conservation, no proposal on how stormwater shall be improved on the property. Keep off Spring Bars Road. From planning, no comment. And there is one letter of support in the file.
Thank you, TJ. Good evening, Kevin.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Kevin Clower. I'm an attorney with Ament Law Firm here in Falmouth, and I represent Mark and Bradley Weiner, the trustees of the 12 Spring Bars Road Trust, the applicants in this matter. I'm joined tonight by Mike Borselli of Falmouth Engineering. 12 Spring Bars Road is located just off of Davis Straits. It is in the B2 zoning district and previously hosted the Fabric Corner prior to a fire destroying it in December of 2014. The existing structure has a footprint of approximately 2,700 square feet, and it is non-conforming as to the side and rear yard setbacks. We are here tonight to seek a special permit under Section 240-3C, allowing reconstruction of the building in the exact same footprint and the exact same size. 240-3C states that pre-existing non-conforming structures may be changed by special permit, provided they are not substantially more detrimental than the existing structure. Bylaw goes on to state that the board should consider the standards of 240-216 and whether the alteration of the structure creates a new dimensional nonconformity, impairs views or vistas, or does not reasonably conform to the average dimensions in the neighborhood. Our proposed reconstruction will result in a structure that is no longer a derelict and a danger to the area. It allows for the property to be useful once again, and it ceases being an eyesore to the community. As stated, we're simply seeking to rebuild the structure in the exact same footprint and the exact same size. This will not be substantially more detrimental than the existing structure, certainly not as it currently exists and not as it has existed for a number of years. There's no new nonconformity, no views will be impaired, there's no new shadow or other adverse impacts on adjacent properties, and no public view or vista will be impaired. The project also meets the standards of 240-216. Given all of this, I think the project clearly meets the criteria of 240-3C. We ask that we grant the special permit. I'd be glad to address any questions you may have along with Mike, and we thank you for your time.
Okay, thanks, Kevin. Jerry, do you have any questions?
Did the assessor's office say it's 2 lots?
I think it was lots 23 and 89.
I don't know if it's, so is that like the driveway leading up to it? Or?
I'm sorry, I'm not.
Where's lot 23 and lot 89? I didn't.
There is a lot which runs the length of it, going from Spring Bars all the way back. So the 2 lots are what we've called Lot A here and Lot C here. So those are the 2 lots that comprise the property.
And this is going to tie into the sewer system?
Yes, it is. It is part of the of the Little Pond Sewer District.
Paul?
No questions.
No questions then? TJ?
No questions?
Okay, so the nonconformity to the side and rear yard, what are those setbacks?
The rear yard setback over here is 3.7 feet, and over here is 9 feet. In both cases, 20 feet is required.
And what was the previous height of the building? The old building?
16 feet, 8 inches,
Okay.
which is exactly what's being proposed.
Okay. And is there a proposed use in the building, or is it just?
They intend to make it a fabric store again.
Okay. And that 12 parking spaces on the lot is sufficient for that use?
It's been used that way for a number of years, and to my knowledge, there's never been an issue with it.
All right. Oh, stormwater containment, any dry wells proposed?
Mike Porcelli, Falmouth Engineering. There's no new drainage proposed. We walked the site and found that the way the parking lot is oriented and the way that it is graded has not posed any issues to surrounding properties, and it's seems to manage the water runoff from the site as it currently is, so we're not proposing anything new.
Okay. And you don't think that there's any reason for concern with
No.
not proposing?
No.
Okay. Do you think that there's any runoff into Spring Bars Road, or?
Not that is discernible by eye. This area here is very flat, and I saw no evidence of water running into Spring Bars Road.
Okay. All right, let me see if Suri has questions, any? Okay, and everybody else is all set as far as questions? Let me see if the public has any comments. Is anyone here to speak in favor of this application? Is anyone here to speak in opposition to this application? Okay. Kevin, you're all set?
Thank you.
Okay. How would you guys like to proceed? Is there a motion to close?
I'd make a motion to close.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
So that was Mr. Van Kuren and Mr. Murphy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then how would you like to move forward?
I don't have any problems.
Yeah, I don't really care to discuss anything because it's an exact replication.
Right, and I think, same height,
Yeah.
same location, pretty innocuous. It's tucked in the back, and the old property was damaged by fire, so they're just restoring what was previously there.
Right.
Okay, so is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve special permit number 78-16.
Okay, so that was Paul and Ed. And we'll do findings and conditions before taking the vote on that. So findings,
What you just said?
what I just said. I would also just like to add that they're not proposing dry wells or drainage, but that Mike Berselli testimony had it that, in his opinion, it wasn't necessary for the site. Since that was an engineering concern. No increase to nonconformity is obviously, I think it's important that staying 16 feet, 8 inches, or not, adding a second story at those setbacks. Same proposed use as what's been there, I think is
240-216.
4216.
Okay.
I think that's probably it. Any conditions per plans?
Plan.
And maybe, did you make a finding, Sri, about how the old, I'm sure that you will, there was a capital cost.
Right.
So, okay, so, and just conditions per plan, I think that's it. So, that was Mr. Murphy's motion, and Ed seconded it, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? So that's unanimous. Okay. The next item on the agenda is application number 7916 Chase, that's 2 Brockton Street, T-Ticket, special permit to construct addition to second floor.
Being all persons deemed affected by the Board of Appeals under Section 11 of Chapter 40A of the Massachusetts General Laws, you are hereby notified that Robert E. and Mary E. Chase, trustees of Rutland, Massachusetts, applied to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a special permit pursuant to Section 240-3C of the Code of Falmouth to construct an addition to the second floor of the pre-existing non-conforming single-family dwelling on subject property known as 2 Brockton Street, T-Ticket, Massachusetts. And for referrals, engineering is the standard comment with the addition that they recommend adding dry wells, rain garden, or other stormwater measures, or connect to what appears to be an existing system if appropriately sized for the roof because of the front yard appears to drain towards Brockton Street and Little Pond. From Conservation, an RDA approved project on February 10th, 2016 by Concom with letter from John Martin, PE, certifying the existing foundation shall remain in place. If building department requires a tear down, must meet V-zone regulations requiring notice of intent. From the fire department, no comment. From the assessors, it includes lots 46 and 47. From planning, no comment. And that's it for referrals. And there were 3 letters of support in the file.
Okay, great, thanks, TJ. Evening.
Good evening. Good evening. For the record, my name is Stephen McKenzie, and I'm here on behalf of Robert and Mary Chase, who are the trustees of the Mary E. Chase Trust. The Chases have owned this property since 1999 and have continuous ownership for the last 17 years. We're here before you tonight to request a special permit under 240-3C to add 200 square feet to the second floor of this house. The reason we're here under 240-3 is because there were a few nonconformities here, and I've highlighted the plan, as you can see on the site plan, the nonconformities. The foundation is 11 feet from the street, where 25 feet is the required setback. The house is built around 1950, so it's been there for 66 years right now. The landing steps on the front are only 6 feet, and on the side street, on the unconstructed road, which is Little Bay Street, the house is 12 feet off the street, which would also be another 25 feet, or if there was a determination of primary frontage, then it could meet a side setback. But that street's unconstructed, and it's just a grass area. In addition to that, the existing lot coverage is 25.19% by structures, which exceeds the allowable 20% or the allowable 25% by special permit. So for those reasons, that's the reason we're before you tonight. The house is listed as in a velocity zone. It's in a VE 15. And so the flood zone requirements apply to us. And the flood zones say that substantial improvement in a velocity zone is any addition or alteration to a home that adds more than 200 square feet to the area. In this case, the plans before you show that we're adding exactly 200 square feet. So we comply with the flood zone requirements. You have to go over the 200 square feet in order to be considered a substantial improvement. And for those reasons, we're asking for the special permit. There'll be no increase in the footprint of the house. There'll be no increase at all in the lot coverage. There are 4 existing dry wells on the property. That was one of the engineer's comments, and that was discussed during the conservation approval as well. And they were located at the 4 corners of the house to contain any roof runoff. So there's no change in the size of the bedrooms. There's no change in the number of bathrooms. It's a 5-bedroom home with 2 bathrooms, and it will remain a 5-bedroom home with 2 bathrooms. This is a modest 1.5-story home in an area that has a blend of houses that are ranches, 1.5-story homes, 2-story homes, and 2.5-story homes. So this is a house will remain a 1.5-story home. If you look at the plans drawn by Sean Bissonette, the second floor will only cover approximately half of the area of the first floor, so it's still considered a 1.5-story home. So it's still a modest home compared to other homes when we start looking at issues of bulk. And I think, given all the factors here, this property certainly meets all your requirements of 240-216 in order to grant this approval, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Okay. Thank you. Let me see if anybody has any questions. TJ?
Let's see. Like you said, Steve, Little Bay Street on the side setback there, that's just basically a paper street. Okay. Thank you.
That was it?
That's it.
Okay. Ed?
I don't have any questions.
Okay. Paul?
Yeah, I have a question for you. The regulation that you mentioned regarding the 200 square feet, is that, I'm unfamiliar with it. Is it state building code?
No,
Or is
it's
it a
actually-
local regulation?
It's the all local regulations
Okay.
under 24082.
Sure, okay.
24082B, and it also is state. It's also in the state building code. It's every town across the Commonwealth, if you want to be zone 200 square feet is the limit for an addition. Once you go over 200 square feet, and that's, you can't go add 200 this feet, 200 next year, 200 next year. It's total of 200. And the building commissioners in most towns are very cognizant of that, and they watch that. Once you go over 200 square feet, you've got to raise the property to flood zone elevations.
Never heard of it.
Jerry?
Thank you.
No question.
Okay. So it's 5 bedrooms currently,
Yes, it is.
and it's remaining 5 bedrooms?
It's remaining, and that's how it's assessed by the town.
Okay. And in calculating lot coverage, was the shed calculated in that as well?
To be honest with you, Kim, I honestly don't know. It wasn't a question I asked John Doyle,
Okay.
It is.
but it is.
I did ask. It is included.
Okay. And do you know how long that shed's been there?
They say more than 20 years it was there when they bought the
Okay.
property.
And did we receive anything, or did you submit anything in writing from the building department about that, that it wouldn't trigger that substantial modification?
No, because your code is quite specific. And let me read it to you, just so there's no questions. 24082B, which is part of your flood zone regulations, say, substantial improvement as defined of a structure which includes in a velocity zone any addition, improvement, alterations, or combinations thereof to a structure that would add more than 200 square feet of gross floor area.
Okay.
So the more than is what's really important here.
So since it's
200 is fine.
you're all set. Okay.
I did email the building commissioner because I was told by the general contractor that she had met with him, and I just wanted something for the record, but I have not gotten a response.
Well, and obviously, if they think it triggers an
He
issue,
won't get a
then
building permit.
Right, exactly.
Exactly.
So you addressed the dry wells. I think that's all I had. Sari, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. And everybody's all set?
Yep.
Anybody here to speak in favor of this application? Okay. You're welcome to.
They don't want to
Okay,
speak, they just
but-
want to let you
so
know, go
there's
on record
two
that they
people.
are in favor. This is Mr. and Mrs.
Okay.
Chase.
And is there anyone here to speak in opposition? No? Okay, so we can probably close the hearing and take a vote.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Make a
Mr.
motion to
McKenzie.
close.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so that was Ed and Jory. All those in favor?
Aye.
And then how would you guys like to proceed?
I'm concerned.
No, it's very modest
Yeah.
compared to what we see, and it's modest because they don't want to trigger that requirement to raise and go up, so, and it's 5 bedrooms, remaining 5 bedrooms, and, okay. And no increase to nonconformities, so, is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, is there?
Second.
Okay, so that was Ed and Paul, and then let's findings and conditions. Findings that it would meet 4216, that they're proposing just a 200 square foot.
Just put in keeping with 240-82B.
Yes. Testimony was that there's 4 existing dry wells on the property. There are nonconformities as to the front yard setback, side yard setback,
Not being increased.
lot coverage, none are being increased, and actually none are being changed. I don't think there's anything else, Steve, sir. No? And conditions would be per plan.
And then no increase in bedrooms.
No increase in the number of bedrooms. Okay, so that was Ed's motion and Paul seconded it, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So that's unanimous. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
That's okay.
Moving right along tonight. The next application is number 80-16, 77 North Bournes Pond Road, East Falmouth. This is a modification to replace an increased pool shed and modify layout of pool. 80-16.
Being all persons deemed affected by the Board of Appeals under Section 11 of Chapter 40A of the Massachusetts General Laws, you're hereby notified that Nader Goldstein, manager of Sannel LLC of Boston, Mass., applied to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a special permit pursuant to Section 240-3C of the Code of Falmouth for a modification of special permit number 122-15 to replace and increase existing pool shed and modify the layout of the pre-existing non-conforming in-ground pool on subject property known as 77 North Lawrence Pond Road, East Falmouth, Massachusetts. And for referrals, from engineering is the standard comment. With the addition, they recommend adding dry wells, rain garden, or other stormwater measures for the pool shed roof because this area appears to drain toward Bourne's Pond. From conservation, order of conditions issued under DEP 25-4158 for outdoor pool, reconstruct patio modification decks, outdoor kitchen. From the assessors, owner of record is Sandal LLC, and from the fire department, no comment. From planning board, no comment.
Thank you, TJ. Hello again.
Hello again. For the record, my name is Kevin Clower. I'm an attorney with Ahmet Law Firm here in Falmouth, and I represent Sandley LLC, the owner of 77 North Bourne's Pond Road, and the applicant in this matter. Again, this evening I'm joined by Mike Borselli of Falmouth Engineering. As you may recall, we were here recently for before the board for a special permit, which you granted for a very similar project. The applicant has made some changes to the plan which do require a modification of that permit. I'm going to begin by telling you about the property, tell you what you had approved, and what we're now proposing today. This property is located on the westerly side of North Bourne's Pond Road. It has about 34,300 square feet in a residential B zoning district, and contains a two-story home with a pool and pool shed. The nonconformity in question here is the setback to the 3-foot contour of Bourne's Pond. The pool shed is currently 24 feet, where a 50-foot setback would otherwise be required. Previously, we had proposed raising and removing the pool shed with significant renovations to the pool and the patio area. This includes a reorientation of the pool, and you had unanimously approved that project at that time. After consultation with his builder and the engineer, the applicant has come to realize that the pool shed really is necessary for the housing of the mechanicals. This is going to reduce the appearance of clutter, it's going to cut down on noise, and it'll be an overall improvement to the site than if no shed was present. So again, we're here before you today under 240-3C, again stating that pre-existing non-conforming structures may be changed by special permit, provided they are not substantially more detrimental than the existing structure. It goes on to state that you should consider the standards of 240-216 and whether the alteration creates a new dimensional nonconformity, impairs views or vistas, or does not reasonably conform to the average dimensions in the neighborhood. We are proposing to raise the existing shed and build a new shed in much the same location. The distance from the 3-foot contour will remain 24 feet. The existing pool will be partially filled in and a new reconfigured pool will be built. The majority of this pool will now be outside of the 50-foot setback, which is a significant improvement over what exists today. Given that the pool shed remains the same distance as currently exists and there is a significant overall improvement to the site, I believe this clearly satisfies the conditions of 240-3C where there is not substantially more detriment than the existing non-conforming use. The scope of the enclosed shed will actually be reduced in size as much of the shed will be an exposed patio and not an enclosed structure as currently exists. For these reasons, I think this clearly satisfies the standards of 240-3C and would ask that you would approve the special permit. I'd be happy to address any questions you might have along with Mike.
Okay. Jerry, do you have any?
No question.
No questions.
And TJ?
The sole purpose of the shed is to house mechanics for the...
There are mechanicals and there is a bathroom much like the existing shed has. Otherwise, it'll be an exposed patio, which will include an outdoor kitchen, but that's the outside area, not within the shed.
And stormwater runoff, the concerns of the referrals?
I'm the stormwater expert, I guess. Again, Mike Borselli. We think that the referral from the engineer, the recommendation is a good one. In fact, I think it would be a good idea to put a dry well on the site. The roof, but not so much for the roof, because if you require it, we could retrofit the architecture, but the roof on this building If you look at the elevations, there's a simple shed roof with no gutters and no downspouts. So the water sheds off the roof onto a patio, onto a level lawn area, and then seeps. There's no gutters or downspouts on the existing shed. There's no erosion from the existing shed. I did say it would be a good idea to have a dry well, but it's really more for the pool maintenance, and it should be on the plan. Oftentimes, when you maintain a pool, you need to draw down the depth to service the pool or whatever, so you need something to pump that into. So that's what I think we need a dry well for. If the board is concerned, I'm not concerned about runoff from the roof of the shed. We could go back to the architect and have him we'd have to have him add a gutter and then downspouts to pipe to a dry well. I saw no evidence of erosion from the existing shed, though.
Thank you, Mike.
Do you have a question?
Yeah, let me just see
No.
the TJ.
All set.
You're all set? Okay, sure.
At one time, I thought there was a recent change in pool regulations that when you draw down a pool, you don't have it now, so if you draw down this pool, where will the water run off to without that wet well?
Yeah, there is nothing now, so I don't know if they've actually pumped down the existing pool ever to maintain it, but if you didn't have a dry well, which I think we should add for that purpose, it would pump over on the lawn, and then, of course, it would just seep and run off. I don't think that's a good situation. So I think we should add a dry well for that reason. For the roof runoff, I don't believe there's a need.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mike, did you say that there's no gutter system or dry well associated with the shed right now?
Correct. There's nothing. It just sheds off and goes onto the grass.
And is the slope of the existing shed similar to what's proposed?
The existing shed actually has a steeper slope.
Okay.
It's more of a classic pitched roof, not this flatter roof that pitches in one direction. It pitches in both directions on the existing shed.
Okay. So I guess I'll hop to that now. So Kim, what's the size of the existing shed then?
The existing shed is about 182 square feet.
Enclosed space?
Yes.
And what's the proposed enclosed space in this?
I'm going to defer to Mike because I tried to scale this, and that confounded my meager math skills prior to the meeting.
It's an angle.
I can do squares. I'm really good with squares.
If you have other questions.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to get on the record, so it's just a minor increase to the square footage of structures on site, or modest?
I actually think it might be a decrease.
Well, it says existing structures in the plans less than 10%, existing and proposed structures.
That includes the pool.
11.2%,
Yeah,
okay.
that includes the pool.
Okay. All right. What's the height of the existing shed?
I don't know specifically. It's probably less than 12 feet. I just don't know.
And we're proposing,
11 and a half. Okay.
which is well under the 18 allowed for accessory structures.
All right. Sari, do you have any questions?
Yeah, Kevin, is the existing shed still there? It hasn't been taken?
It's still there.
It is taken.
There's
And
been-
where,
There's been no work done under the previous special permit.
okay. Because the previous one, it was removed, so the setback would be 36 feet now.
Mhm.
You're proposing it back at 24
Mhm.
feet. And where would the dry wells, where would you recommend a dry well be put, Michael?
I would recommend a dry well be put out in this lawn area, right?
Yeah.
Out in this flat lawn area. That way it's easily accessible to the
And what about one behind the shed this way, so there's no water runoff to the neighbor, just in case? You don't think that's necessary?
Well, I don't think it's necessary, but if we were to put one for the, we'd have to figure out how to put gutters on this building and downspouts and then direct it to the dry well. I guess if we were gonna do, we'd probably put it somewhere over here, probably over here.
Okay.
But it would be complicated to get the root system to have gutters that would pitch through.
Okay, and that kitchen is definitely a summer kitchen only and never will be enclosed?
Never, and it's actually, most of it's not to be built in. The grill's going to be on wheels and
Okay.
And the only enclosed space on the storage, in the shed is storage
in the bathroom,
and unfinished storage?
unfinished storage.
Okay, and then the one bathroom. Okay.
It's important to have the bathroom enclosed.
Yes, I would agree. The neighbors will appreciate that. Okay, I think that's it. Sri, is that everything?
Thank you.
Okay. Was there any, I guess just one last question, consideration to moving the shed so it was further off that contour? So you were improving the setback?
There was, but given the space requirements that they were looking for between, requirements are probably not the word, the spaces they were looking for between the pool and the pool equipment, it didn't make much sense. And also, I think it's not necessarily required under the zoning bylaw because we're not substantially more detrimental than what currently exists.
Thanks. All right, is there anyone here to speak in favor of this application? Anyone here to speak in opposition? Okay, I think we can probably close.
What was the square footage of the proposed?
Oh, Mike did clarify, and it's 240 square feet, so I would, again, my meager
it's
math
an
skills were
increase.
wrong.
240, and what's the existing 182?
About
Yeah.
182.
Okay. Okay. All right, so is there a motion to close?
Make a motion to close.
Okay.
Second?
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, and how would you guys like to proceed? Why don't we talk about the dry well? Because I know Mike said, certainly a dry well in the lawn area. Engineering did recommend a dry well near the shed.
I agree, it should be in there.
Yeah, and I think they're near, that certainly if they're maintaining that setback to the contour line, as Sri pointed out, that they have been improving under the prior setback, because the shed was no longer proposed at that time. I think it makes sense. I think it's a minor concession on their part to put that in, so.
To put a dry well at the east of the shed and west of the pool.
Yes.
Is that what you guys are thinking about?
Not so sure about the shed, but definitely the one for the pool.
TJ, are you on board with that?
I am.
Sure,
Yeah,
yep.
okay. Any other concerns or questions, or seems pretty,
Straightforward.
yeah, pretty reasonable, I think, to have pool equipment enclosed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Makes sense. So, and it's obviously going to be, it's attractive, it's going to be usable.
Yeah.
for
Right.
them, and-
It's good looking.
Right. It's made to go into the whole design of the pool.
Right, and I
Yeah.
think the location of it does make sense where it is. It's unfortunate it's maintaining the setback, but as Kevin pointed out, it's not substantially more detrimental, so,
But the pool is more conforming than it was last time.
yes.
That was 36 or 37, now it's more than 50 feet.
Yes. Okay, so is there a motion to approve?
Just make a motion to approve.
Okay. so-
Second.
Okay, so that's Ed and Paul, and so let's findings and conditions. Findings, obviously, 24216, that there's a current pool shed, and they're replacing the pool shed, maintaining the 24-foot setback to the 3-foot contour line.
I would mention that the pool has an improved setback.
Yes. And still plenty of, they're way under the lot coverage, so, I would
So no
mention-
additional nonconformities.
Yes. I think it's more, why don't we say improves the, the usefulness of to have the equipment enclosed.
Enhances the utilization.
Yes. And less noise impact on neighbors, I would think. That was what testimony was. I think that we should have a finding that the engineering department referral requested dry wells, and that pursuant to testimony by Mike Briselli, dry well in the lawn, I think was what did you say, Sri? West
West of the pool and east of the shed.
and we'll say east of the pool shed.
So applicant is amenable to,
Yes. Testimony to maintaining the height of the pool shed, that the height's comparable to what's existing. And I guess we should have a finding so we can condition it that the kitchen is an outdoor kitchen, and will not be enclosed. And that there's, the bathroom is obviously finished and indoors, but the other space is just storage space. So no other habitable space besides the bathroom.
Storage and mechanical.
Yes.
okay.
No, I guess I should.
Any conditions?
Conditions per plans, and then with the,
Dry wells?
with the dry wells. I don't think we need modified plans, revised plans, do you, Sri? Or would you like those? Okay. So we'll revise plans showing where they put the dry wells in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're requesting they be in certain areas.
Okay. So then we'll do that. Conditions per plans with the revision showing where the dry wells are installed, and those shall be submitted to the zoning board.
Prior to building permit issuance.
Yes. Did you want to condition that the kitchen not be enclosed?
That's up to the board.
Yeah, I think that probably makes
Yeah, they
sense,
stated
because
it,
then if
yeah.
they enclose it one day, that creates obviously other considerations.
So kitchenette, pool area not to be enclosed?
Yes.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. So that was Ed's motion to approve, and Paul seconded it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next application is number 81-16, 12 Johnson Street, Falmouth, special permit to construct an attached garage and addition at rear, creating a master bedroom.
Being all persons deemed affected by the Board of Appeals under Section 11 of Chapter 40A of the Massachusetts General Laws, you are hereby notified that Thomas G. and Judith T. Durham of Falmouth, Massachusetts, applied to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a special permit pursuant to Section 240-69E of the Code of Falmouth to construct a garage addition and an addition creating habitable space, increasing lot coverage in excess of 20% on subject property known as 12 Johnson Street, Falmouth, Massachusetts. And for referrals from engineering, the standard comment with the addition that the driveway will require stormwater management since it will be paved. It cannot drain toward the street and must meet all current driveway requirements. Please see the DPW Engineering Division Office or go online for requirements and application. For Marine Environmental Services, no comment. From the assessors, no comment. Planning, no comment. From Conservation, contained stormwater created on property and off public road. From the Fire Department, no comment. And there are 4 letters of support in the file.
Thank you. Good evening again.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Kevin Clower, and I'm an attorney with Amet Law Firm here in Falmouth. I represent Tom and Judy Durham, the owners of 12 Johnson Street, and the applicants in this matter. Mr. and Mrs. Durham are with us this evening. 12 Johnson Street is located in the northern area of Falmouth Heights. It's on, the existing house is a footprint of approximately 1,520 square feet, stands approximately 17 feet 1 inches tall, being 1.5 stories, and is conforming as to the zoning bylaw requirements. The Durhams purchased this property in 2014, and shortly thereafter made it their full-time residence. Upon living in it for a little while, they've come to the realization that the existing layout and structure is not quite adequate for what they need. As such, they're looking to do a small addition. They're looking to and repurpose a lot of the existing house. This addition includes the addition of a single-car garage and a master bedroom located to the rear of that garage. This addition will bring them over 20% lot coverage, so they are before you today seeking a special permit under Section 240-69E. That section of the bylaw states that lot coverage by structures of up to 25% may be allowed by special permit from the Board of Appeals. The board should consider the size and height of the structure in relation to the average size and height of structures in the neighborhood, the effects of shadow on adjacent properties, the impact on views and vistas from public ways, and the effect of nitrogen on coastal embayments. What we are proposing is an addition that would be 12.75 feet wide from the existing home going north towards the northerly lot line. The house will still conform to all setback requirements. There's no change to the existing ridge height, which, as I mentioned, is 17 feet 1 inch. And in fact, the ridge line of the proposed addition area will be below that at 16 feet, I think 5 inches or 6 inches. The proposed size and height of the structure is in conformance with the area. I prepared calculations which were submitted to you of the size of the structures in the neighborhood. And for that, I used gross building area as set forth by the Town Assessor's Department. I have some issues with gross building area in terms of calculating size because it takes into account below-grade basement areas, for instance, and we don't know how accurate they are, whereas we know the numbers we're using are accurate. So it's a flawed system, but it's the best system we have right now, I think. I also calculated, because of the size of this structure, I also calculated the linear front footage of the street-facing frontage of each house. I think that's important because what we're proposing is not going up, but going laterally. And in doing those calculations, I calculated the 43 homes within 300 feet of this home. Using those calculations, the average gross building area of the 43 dwellings was 2,944 square feet. The average height was about 1.5 stories, being approximately 18 feet tall. And the average dwelling frontage was 53.7 feet. What we're proposing is a gross building area of 3,417 square feet. However, included in that is a below-grade unfinished basement, without which our gross building area is only 2,388 square feet, well under the average of 2,944. The height remains 17 feet 1 inch, and in fact, it's 14 feet 6.5 inches for the addition. And the frontage of the proposed dwelling will be 56 feet. The size of the gross building area may be slightly more than the current average. However, as I've mentioned, without the below-grade unfinished area, that gross building area is well below the average number that appears. The appearance of from the street will be average, and that's due to the frontage and the height of the structure, which is in exact conformance with those average dimensions. Size and height of the structure is only one condition, or one matter that the board's supposed to consider. They're also supposed to consider the effects of shadow on adjacent properties. They're supposed to consider the impact of views and vistas from public ways and the effect of nitrogen on coastal embayments. There is no effect of shadow on adjacent properties. This property runs north to south. So the sun's rising this way, setting this way, shadows fall in the street or in the backyard. And again, we're not changing the height of the structure. There's no impact on views and vistas from public ways. The linear frontage facing the street is nearly the exact average. Views from the street should be improved due to the creation of a garage, so we're actually taking cars that are currently parked outside and putting them inside. And there's no effect of nitrogen on coastal embayments. Same number of bedrooms proposed as exists, and this property is located in the Little Pond Sewer District. We have received 4 letters of support from the abutters, and most importantly, the neighbors directly to the north and south have submitted their approval of this project. What we're proposing is not substantially more detrimental than the existing structure. There's no adverse effects, there's no new nonconformities, no public view or vista will be impaired, and it meets the standards of 240-216. As such, this project meets the criteria of Section 240-69E, and we ask that you grant a special permit. I'd be glad to address any questions that you may have at this time.
Okay, thanks, Kevin. Ed?
Any questions?
Paul?
No questions.
Jerry?
No question.
TJ?
Just because I didn't write it down, what was the current lot coverage?
Current lot coverage, you didn't write it down, didn't say it, did you?
Ah, I was writing it down,
17.2%.
and you're going up to 24.4?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
That's all, TJ?
That's it.
Existing bedrooms 4
Mhm.
and remaining 4.
Mhm.
And that side yard setback is proposed at 10.1 feet.
We'd be happy to submit as-built plans
I was
following the
gonna-
construction.
Sounds great. The other question is the 2 existing sheds.
Yes, those are calculated into the lot coverage.
And those are proposing to remain?
Yes.
Did you calculate the setback of that rear shed, which appears to be right on the property line?
We did not. I would say it's probably right on the property line. That's an existing shed, and I can't tell you with 100% certainty, but has likely been there for more than 10 years, which would provide it with grandfather protection.
Any consideration to removing those sheds since you are going from, you're going up 7% in lot coverage?
Sure.
And putting in the garage?
That's a fair question. I think
Thank
that
you.
the applicant would be willing to remove one of the sheds, would like to keep one of the sheds. The garage is not that big.
Yeah, it's just a
and
one-car garage?
It's just a one-car, single-car garage, so for lawnmowers, things of that nature, having a single-car garage would be somewhat difficult. If we were to remove either of the sheds, we'd actually want to remove the one that is right on the lot lines.
Sounds good to me. And that's the larger one as well.
And that would reduce lot coverage by 100 square feet, so that brings us, I can give you the exact number, 20, if you want. That would bring us to 23.3%.
Okay. I think that's more palatable. And then the existing paved driveway that's remaining?
Yes,
Okay.
probably not to be used, but there in case, so they don't have to tear up their lawn if they need it.
Well, I understand people come down to visit and
Road race
nice to have the
weekend.
cars off the road, so.
Mhm.
Okay, I think that's all I have. Sri?
No, I don't have anything, thank you.
So is there anyone here to speak in favor? No, you're in favor. Is there anyone here to speak in opposition? Okay. All right, so I think we're probably all set. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Would anybody like to make a motion to close?
I'll make a motion to close.
Second?
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then, I guess we can just have some quick conversation. Is everybody okay with that change to the existing shed, the 100-foot? I mean, it's on the property line, brings it down to 23.3.
They agreed to it.
Yeah, so I think it makes sense, so, and otherwise, I would just say this is, I think anytime that you're not adding a story or raising and rebuilding and putting, it's pretty modest, and it's certainly a modest proposal. So, would anybody like to make a motion?
Close?
We already closed, yeah, so to approve.
Yeah, I make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
So that was Ed and Paul, and then we'll do findings and conditions. Finding 4-bedroom, remaining 4-bedroom. Make a find, 4216, obviously. Make a finding that's more user-friendly for the, usable for the applicant, and that they're adding a master bedroom and a garage. Finding that there's currently 2 sheds and that they are amenable to removing the shed that's shown as existing shed, 100 square feet right on the lot line. Finding that the proposed, by removing that shed, the proposed lot coverage by structures will be 23.3%. I would do a finding that the side yard setback is proposed at 10.1 feet, and that the applicant's amenable to submitting as-built plans as well, since we're going to condition.
All right.
And then, oh, I would, that the addition ridge height is actually less, and there's no increase to the existing ridge height. Oh, and that the neighbors to the north and south, so directly abutting, submitted indicated letters in support. Any others? Okay, so condition then would be per plans, removal of the existing shed, 100 square feet on the property line, that they submit as-built plans.
And the as-built can show setbacks, revised lot coverage, and elimination of shed. Or
Perfect.
turn those last two around.
Yeah.
And then condition remaining 4 bedrooms. Testimony, there was testimony about the unfinished basement, right? Just want to make sure.
He did state that the
Okay.
basement was unfinished.
Okay. So maybe put it in a finding. Any others?
That's it.
No, not that I can think of.
I think that's everything, three.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was Ed's motion and Paul seconded it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. So that is unanimous. Thank you. Okay. So next on the agenda minutes, August 11th, 2016. Has everybody had an opportunity to review those?
I have.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you vote the separate and then maybe
Oh,
you should vote the executive
not to
be released to the public?
yep. So the first would be has everybody had a chance to review the executive session minutes?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So we'll vote those and somebody make a motion to approve not to be released to public
Make a motion not to release them to the public.
and approve them. Okay.
Second.
So that was Ed and Paul. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. So that's unanimous. And then the next would be the minutes of August 11th from the open session, the regular hearing. So everybody's had a chance to review those?
I did.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, so that's Ed and Paul. All those in favor?
Aye.
And that is unanimous.
Thank you.
The next item is board administrative approval, number 18-16 BCAS, additional event of cyclocross at the Barnstable County Fairgrounds.
Right, the, Wendy from Barnstable County Agricultural Society, they have a new event for November 5th and 6th. It's a cyclocross, which is a bike race. It would not be leaving the grounds, and it raises money for MS. They're looking to have about 600 people. If they do have alcohol, they do have to get their license from the selectmen. I did ask her if they're going to have police presence. She will check into that. So if the board does approve it, I recommend that you require that a plan review with the building commissioner be done, and the Board of Health regarding any toilets, and then electrical permits. And it will be done on Lot 4, which is the west gate.
Okay. Is that later in the year than
It's
we
November
have
5th and 6th.
previously? Do they usually extend that late in the season?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. I think we never, like, they always take care of everything and consult with who they need to consult with.
Yeah.
This is obviously a minor request. So is there a motion to administratively approve that, subject to what Sari just said regarding plan review with the building commissioner, I was trying
Electrical
to-
permits.
Electrical and health.
Check with Board of Health on any toilets.
Okay. So-
I'd like to make a motion to approve the administrative request.
Is there a second?
Second.
So that was Paul and Ed. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nope, so that was unanimous. Next is, we have board review and discuss procedural rules and policies. When we had our meeting with Mark Bobrowski, he did, I think, provide us with comprehensive rules to review, which we do need to review, I think, pretty quickly. And then we'll also be reviewing just our general rules, and I know he said he would send over some kind of sample ones for us to compare, so.
Which I'll have to contact him back because he hasn't yet.
So, and I think it's good to kind of hold off and wait for everyone to be present, so.
Especially when you're going to be possibly discussing a policy for bulk.
Right.
Because the missing member has
Certain feelings.
certain feelings on that.
So we will keep that on the agenda and not really get into that tonight. Correspondence or board updates? No, Saree did send around the accessory apartment bylaw comment from Attorney Moynihan, which we appreciate,
And I haven't heard any more on any redraft of that as yet.
okay. And I think they're targeting next.
I believe April
the
town
spring
meeting,
Town meeting, so.
possibly, yes.
But it's good to be kept in the loop, so we appreciate it. And any future agenda items? Not that I can think of, so, okay.